Hey, hello everyone. Very good evening to all. So, I asked you yesterday to explore PHP right? Just you should know how to create tables, how to create databases, how to insert data, how to edit the data, and the operations on the table. Whatever the operations we can perform on the table, that you have to check them by using PHP. Now, in this session, I'm going to teach you how we can able to connect to database programmatically. This is what exactly real time in every of your application development. 90% we will use coding only, and just 10% we will go PHP very rarely. That's an environment, guys. PHP is it's an UI or environment to access the MySQL database. To access the MySQL database, we have programming only. So we have programming also. By using this programming also, we can able to connect to database. Let us see how can we connect. First of all, we have to create a connection, right? So without connection we can do anything. DB connection, database connection should be created. After connection created, you can execute any type of query. Generally everybody know about select query, may you know about insert query, you may know about delete query, update query. These are the some common operations, guys. In every project, I don't know how many queries you are going to write. 95% of the queries are for these four are. You should be very good in insert query, select query, delete query, update query. 95% of the queries are select, insert, delete, update only, and remaining maybe sometimes create, alter, some kind of truncate, maybe some different queries also you can see rarely. So you should know about these four queries properly. So in MySQL, these things are called as a DML statements. I think you know very well DML statement. What is the meaning of DML? Manipulation. I want to manipulate the data in a table. So to manipulate the data in a table, we want to write insert. That is a manipulation. Delete is a manipulation. Update is a manipulation. And select is also come under DML statement in MySQL. But I think if it is a Oracle, this will come under DDL statement, I will select. So, but here, this is exactly the DML statements. We have a lot of statements are there, DML, DDL, right? So data definition language statement, I mean, create table, alter, rename will all come under DDL statements, guys. Okay, whatever the things it may be, but don't worry. But these four queries you need to concentrate. Almost all 95% of the queries you are going to write on these four only. Everything is select query to select the data from a table, insert query, delete query, update query, right? All four things, right? So first of all, you want to execute any type of query, right? We need to first connect to database. Without connecting, we can do anything. Programmatically, how can we connect to database? See, we have a function MySQL connect is a method. This is the predefined method. That is the first method we are talking about from the MySQL library, PHP MySQL library. The first method is going to be MySQL connect. By using this method, by using this method, we can connect to database. Exactly, guys. We can connect to database. This method returns a connection, right? It is going to return connection information, connection object, actually returns a connection object. We can say something like this. Okay, right? This method has four parameters. This method has four parameters we have to pass to this method. If you want to connect to database, four parameters. First one is going to be host name, right? Host name. Second one is going to be DB database username. Let me write the things like this: database username. Third one is going to be database password. What is the database password you are having? And the fourth one is going to be name of the database. This is going to be the database name you created yesterday. What is the database name you created? That is going to be 8 p.m. July, right? This is the database you created, 8 p.m. July. Do you have any password? We don't have any password. What is the default database username? For every database, root is the default user. What is the host name? We are in the local host. You have to provide the local host. Now, finally, your database MySQL connect function will be like this: MySQL I underscore connect To this, we have to pass four parameters: host name, DB name, and sorry, database username and password. What is a host name? Local host is a parameter. Database username is going to be root. We don't have any password. Just leave it empty. Some people, they will give you spaces. You cannot provide spaces also. It should be empty, right? A space is also a character. Remember carefully. And the database name is going to be 8 p.m. July. So if this is connected successfully, this is going to return a variable that is going to be, or else we can call it as a connection object. You can take any variable here, not only CON or anything, you can take it CONN, CONNE, CTION connection. You can take any variable there, no problem. So if this is connected successfully, fine. ORR, I will write die statement here. Die means it will stop the script execution. I'm writing the message, sorry, unable to connect to DB, unable to connect to DB, something like this I can display. So what is the message we are going to tell us, this is a valid statement. If you are able to connect to database successfully, okay, connection will be returned to it. If you are unable to connect to database, this will stop the script execution. I mean, it won't continue from the next step. So wherever you have connected, if there is an error, it will stop the execution there onwards. Die statement. Die means stop the script execution manually. I don't want to continue to execute the remaining things. If database is not connected, why should I continue to execute the remaining things, right? So this is connection. Now, I just want to take the statement. Let me create a separate file. I'm going to make this as a PHP, and let me save the file with a name called connect.php. File name could be your choice. I'm making this file name as connect. Some people will take it as a connection.php. Some people will take dbconnector.php. The file name is going to be your choice, right? So here, just you can keep this, guys. Exactly, this is the thing. Right, just I want to print this. If you are successfully connected, now you can see print underscore r of $CON. I'm just executing this page, and you can execute this localhost colon slash. So just localhost slash colon 8 p.m. July 8 p.m. JULY July slash. What is the file name we created? Connect.php. If this is connected, we are going to get the connection information like this. This is a connection object, guys. Here all the connection information you are able to see. So if, for example, you are providing a wrong, actually there is no password, I'm providing a password hello. By default, root doesn't have any password, but I'm providing a password. Now you can see, sorry, unable to connect to DB. The die statement is stopping the execution, and it is giving an error message also. Access denied for the user root at localhost using password S. Actually, root doesn't have any password, but you are trying to use a thing. So by writing this statement, you guys successfully connected to database. Okay, na? Right. I'm keeping the file safe. This is a file which we can reuse. Why? Because we need database connection in each and every of your application. I mean, each and every of your page. So I don't want to write this statement in every way. I want to keep the file. I want to reuse wherever I want database connection, that we can see. Okay, right. Now I'm creating one more file, guys. Here, all of you try to see. I want to get a contact list. Contact list list.php. This is the file. Yesterday, do you remember we created one table? Go to this, your 8 p.m. July, and you can see there is a table called contact. If you can click the browse, there you can see 4 records are there in this. Now we are able to see these records from PHPMyAdmin. Now I want to see these records programmatically here. Right, so I want to see the records programmatically here. Let us see how can we see these records. Where is this connection? Still there is an error. Remove this hello. We don't have any password. Right now you can execute it. I don't have any error. Perfect. Now I want to get the contact list. Whatever the contact users are there in this table, those list I want to see in this following file. Let us see how can we fetch data from a table programmatically. All right, so if it is a PHPMyAdmin, just click the table and we're able to see. We don't need to write any program. Behind the scenes, PHPMyAdmin already had a programmed, and by clicking the button, it is getting displayed data to you, and we don't want to do any operation on the PHPMyAdmin. So we're able to see the data. Now I want to get the data from a table. Let us see how can we get the data from a table. Right, first of all, I want to write a query to get the data. First of all, if you want to write a query, what is the query, guys? Can you tell me how can we get the data from a table? Select star from table name. What is our table name? Contact is the table. If you can execute this query, can you see, go to PHPMyAdmin. just you can go to SQL, just add the query. Now you can see select star from contact. Now you can go and execute this just by clicking this. Now you can see you're having something. You're getting the records, right? By executing the query, you're getting 4 records. So programmatically also you need to execute the same query. But if you want to execute the same query, who will execute this? Here we have another we have another method to execute the SQL statements. That is nothing but MySQL I underscore query is a predefined function. What is the query you want to execute? Select query, delete query, update query, insert, delete, whatever it may be. This is the function. But to this function, the first parameter is going to be DB connection, guys. To this, we have to pass DB connection. You have to connect to DB, right? That connection you have to pass here. And the second one is going to be the SQL query to be executed. So the DB connection is the first parameter. On the DB connection, I need to execute the DB this query. What is the DB connect you are having? What is the database you are having? 8 p.m. July. So whatever the query you are executing here, this query will be executed on 8 p.m. July database only. Because remember, database server may contain many number of databases, but you should remember, you should tell to DB server on which database you want to execute this table. You're writing a query, right? Select star from table name. You want to execute this query on what is the database? Lot of databases are there. Every database may have a contact table. So that's the reason you have to pass the database name here, 8 p.m. July. So whatever the connection you are having, this connection we need to bring into the following file. Anybody please tell me, how can we get the variable inside of it? Here we have a variable CON, right? I'm just passing the CON variable here. Now, can you tell me, please? This is a connection variable available in one file that I want to access here. What are all the logic you written in the connect.php? If you want to access in some other file, just you can go here. We can write include is a predefined function. In this predefined function, we can pass the file name connect.php. Because of doing this, whatever the logic you written in the connect.php, that connection variable is available here, guys. If you want, you can print it. You can see print underscore r of $con. Actually, we are having this. Now you can see just what is the file we have right now, contact list, right? Contact list list dot php. Execute it. You're able to see the connection information, right? Yeah. So we don't want to connect to database in each and every file. We connected already in one place. Wherever we want, yeah, we can do something like this, guys. Exactly. Yeah, connection is ready. uh, the connection variable I passed it to it. This is going to give you some result set. Result set means it is going to give you all the records. I'm taking the variable as result, or anything you can take it, guys. Not only variable name result. Some people will take it as a data. Data. Some people will take it as a data set. Some people will take it as a result set because it contain all the records. Just now you executed select star from table name. We got all the records from the table, right? Yeah, the same you can take any variable here. Now you can see I'm just going to print dollar and dollar data. Now are we going to get anything on the screen? Definitely you can see I'm not getting the data. Can you see current field 0, field count nothing but total number of columns in a table 5, and a number of rows are 4. There are 4 records are there. Programmatically, how can we find this? Let me show you here. Echo, there is a function mysql I. There is a predefined function, guys. The function name is going to be mysql I underscore num underscore rows. This is a predefined function. Just to pass the data. This is the result set now. From this result set, we can find how many records are there in the result set. In interview, they will ask us, how can we find the total number of records from a table? By using mysqli underscore num underscore rows. So mysqli query function, it will execute an SQL query and it will return the data. And mysqli underscore num underscore rows, this method will return the total number of records in the select query. You selected the data, right? Now it is going to return the data. Now you can see I'm just echoing. Now you can see how many records you have there. Those many records are going to be printed. Now can you see I'm getting 4 because your database contain 4 records. That's the reason you are getting exactly right. So you can go and check this. Now you can use this mysql underscore num underscore rows. See, at any time, remember carefully, if you have records, then only I can get it now. Otherwise I cannot get it, right? Okay, anyhow, this is the way of getting data. Fine. Okay, number of records. For checking this, my check this method mysql underscore num underscore rows. Using this method, we can find the total number of records in a table. All right, MySQL query will execute the SQL query to you, right? So this is giving you total number of records, right? Echo, if you can write this, or else we can write a condition also. Sometimes we can write a condition if number of records are greater than zero. What is the meaning of greater than zero? At least one record is there. For example, you don't have records. What is this going to be written here? Zero. Zero greater than zero means no records. If you don't have records, else block will be executed. Here I will write a small message by saying that paragraph tag open close. Write a message, sorry, no records found. I am writing a simple message called no records found. Now let me write a manually making something wrong. So let us write one more statement here. I have records. Let me have a paragraph tag open close. Yes, we have records. Something like this I'm writing, guys. Don't worry. Now you can see you are going to get a message. Yes, we have records. Let me make the query intentionally wrong. 4 records you have, right? I'm writing a where condition where id equal to 20. Is there any record with id 20? There is no record. Then you can see, sorry, no records found. If we don't have records, it is going to be, there is no matched records id equal to 20, guys. Actually, you are having ids 1 2 3 4 only. There is no id 20. So if you don't have records, we have to display a user friendly message. If you have records, we have to display those records. That's my intention actually, right? Okay, this is great. So now anyhow, I have records, right? We are able to see, but how can we get the data? I am not able to see. We are verifying a condition. MySQL num rows. If we have records, we have to display the records. Now how can we fetch the data from a result set? Now you can see, guys, here this is very important, right? So this is done. Now you can go and check this MySQL underscore query. This is the function we are having. By using this method, we can execute SQL queries. Now you can see by using this method, we can execute execute the SQL queries, all SQL queries, all SQL commands, whatever it may be, guys. QUERI, yes, all SQL queries. By using this method, we can execute all SQL queries. This method has two parameters. This method has two parameters. One is DB connection. One is DB connection, and the second one is going to be the SQL query to be executed. SQL QUERY query to be executed. What is the SQL query you want to execute here, right? Next method is going to be MySQL I underscore num underscore rows. This is the method we are having. By using this method, we can find the total number of records from a result set. By using this method, we can find the total number of records, RECORDS records from a table. Okay, this method has a one parameter that is called result set. We have to pass result set as a parameter to it, right? So this method has one parameter. This method has one parameter, that is result set. You have to pass it as a result set, guys. Okay, right, very important thing this is. So I'm just sharing you this in the chart window. Just copy them, all 4 points. After that, don't ask me. I cannot maintain any notes for this. I'm just typing you in the chart window. Just get the things properly, right? Okay. So now it's all done. We are executed the query. Yeah, but we are unable to see the data. In interview, there is a question. In how many ways we can fetch the data from result set? In how many ways we can fetch the data from result set? Result set. What is the result set variable here? Result set variable is data. In this, we have 4 records. Those 4 records you want to get it, guys, right? They will ask you a question, in how many ways we can fetch the data from result set? 4 ways. Answer is 4 ways. Immediately they will ask you, what are the 4 ways? Anybody know? We don't know, sir. What are the 4 ways here? Nothing but there are 4 methods. You can see the methods. MySQL I underscore fetch underscore array, sorry, row. MySQL underscore fetch underscore row. Second one is going to be MySQL underscore fetch underscore associate. right? The fourth one is going to be the method. Fetch row, fetch associate, fetch array, fetch object. These are the four methods are there. You can use any of the method, guys. But I will always go with the associate method because I'm flexible with the associate method. That's the reason I will go here, right? In how many ways we can fetch the data from result set? Answer is four ways. What are the four ways? They will ask you, what is the difference between associate and array? What is the difference between object and row, or row and associate, or array and object? I don't know the combination, how they will be asked you, right? But try to understand all the points here, right? Okay, let me write the definition of this method. First method, by using this method, try to see the point I'm writing. All of you be listen this carefully. By using this method, we can fetch the data from a result set. We can fetch the data from result set, right? This method, remember carefully, can fetch only one record. Very, very important. Then how can we fetch all the records? This method can fetch only one record at a time. At a time, right? Right. So this method can fetch only one record at a time. So now you can see the second method. I'm coming to the second method. What is the second method definition could be? Now you can see I'm writing the second method definition. By using this method, we can fetch data from result set. This method can fetch only one record at a time. That's all. That is the second method definition. Now I'm going for the third method definition. Now you can see the third method definition. This is the third method definition. By using this method, we can fetch data from result set. This method can fetch only one record at a time. Third method definition also completed. What is the fourth method? Right, now you can see by using this method, we can fetch data from result set. This method can fetch only one record at a time. Sir, what happened? Do we need four methods to fetch the data here? All methods definitions are same, right? Then why this is very important for interview? There are some differences. What are the differences? All the four methods will do the same job, but the written type of every method is going to be different, guys. Remember carefully, I'm writing this method returns the data. This method returns the data as an indexed array. This is very, very important, guys. There are written types are very important. All four methods will do the same job, and the written type is going to be different. Now you can see this method returns the data as an, I think you can expect it is going to be written data as an associative array, associative associative array. Can you please guess what this fetch array can do? Index array completed, associative array completed. We have two arrays. This method returns the data as a combination of indexed array and associative array. This is exactly, it will give you both associative array and indexed array, right? This method returns the data as an object. Object is a little bit different than arrays. It look like object look like an array, but not exactly an array. There is an object, there is a concept called array. So these are the four methods definitions, guys. Here, very important methods for interviews. I'm just sharing you in the chart window again. Copy this information forever. This is gunshot question in interview. Make sure, very, very important, the method is, guys, right? Okay, I think you can see this, all the four methods and the definitions we passed, right? So now for fetching data, you have to use a method. All of you try to see. I'm just going to fetch the data here, guys. So you can take it a row. I'm taking a variable called row or record, any variable you can take it. MySQL I underscore fetch underscore row is a method. Na? In this row method, you have to pass result set as a parameter. Result set as a parameter. Now, can we print this data? Print underscore r of. Now you can see dollar data. I'm printing data. Now you can check, not data, dollar row. You have to print only one record you are going to get. Can you see? Now I'm going to refresh the page. If you can see, there is one record. What type of array this is? This is an associative array, indexed array. Indexed array. You want to see this into properly, you can use pre-tag also there, right? You can go to add pre-tag, just refresh the page. You can see the data as an indexed array because you used a method called row method. Now you can see I'm using the method called ASSOC. Now you can check the data. The same data, you can see this is an associative array. These are the column names of your table. ID, name, email are the table column names. Now yesterday we created, these are the column names. Can you see the table structure? And these are the column names: ID, name, email, mobile, message. But earlier you got indexes, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, right? We got indexed array. Row is an indexed array. Now you can see if you can go there, you can see row is now 0 means id column in the database, 1 means name column in the database, 2 means email column in the database, 3 means mobile column in the db, 4 means message column in the db. The indexes will be points to the column numbers. 0 means id, 1 means something like this. This will be pointed like this. Okay, now right. So what is this is going to be array. Now you can see it is going to return both the combination. Can you see 0 and id, both associated and indexed array combination. Now you can see 1 and a name, this is 2 and email, 3 and mobile, 4 and message. You're getting both the things na? I mean, you can, your flexibility, you want to use an index, you want to use a column name of your choice completely, right? You can use it, guys. Perfect. So now it is going to be an object. Now finally the method is going to be object. This is going to be a little bit different, guys. Can you see object, standard class object? This is, it look like associative array. I told you, right? It's not an associative array, it's an object only, associative array. And now you can see I'm going to take it as an ASSOC. Don't get confused here. ASSOC, associative array. Can you see the prototype is array? So now you can go and change this as an object, refresh the page. What is the prototype you're getting here? So standard class object, you're getting something. This is an object, this is an associative array. But we know how to access array values. But how can we access associative array values, object values? We know associative array, index array values accessing. But object values are a little bit different to access them. We will see in a minute that too also. Okay, now I'm going to work on row method. But did you see the row method is giving you 0 1 2 3 4, but it is giving me one record, but my database contain 4 records now, but I'm getting only one record. But in this point of time, what we need to do, guys, can you guess what I need to do? Now you can see I'm printing this to second time. Now you can check this, I'm taking the same. Now you can see second time I printed, third time printed, fourth time printed. Now you can see 4 records printed now. Now you can see 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. You're getting 4, all 4 records. Do we have fifth record? No. Let me print this fifth time also. Are we getting anything as a fifth record? We don't have fifth record from the table. Then what is the value of this row? I want to know. Simply, you can write this as a var underscore dump, guys. If you can write var dump, can you see what is the value you're getting at the end of it? You know, null. Null means it's, there is no record. So what this method can do, you know, the first time you return, this can fetch the first record. After fetching the first record, what this method will do, you know, it will move the result set pointer to the next record. When I'm writing the second record, when I'm writing the second time, it is printing the second record. What this method will do after printing the, after getting the second record, the result set pointer will automatically shift it to third record. When we are writing the third time, the third record is printed. After printing the, after getting the third record, this result set pointer will be automatically pointed to fourth record. Fourth record also get it. After that fourth record, do we have any record to print? We don't have anything. Then row value will be null. Row value will be null. If it is a null, it will stop the things, right? So, but my biggest question here, sir, are we going to write something like this here? No, right? So we need to, we always do one thing. If you have 1,000 records, will you write these statements 1,000 times? No, it's not a good at all, right? So we have to write a loop, either for loop or while loop. Let me write for loop or while loop, guys, here. So now you don't want to write this statement each and every time, guys. Okay, let me remove this, all the things. Now I'm going to write a for loop or while loop. Now you can see for loop. I'm going to write a for loop. Now exactly, this is the for loop. But here, we don't want condition, we don't want initialization, incrementation. Let us see dollar row. You don't do anything, simply you can take this dollar row and you can keep here. That's enough, guys, right? Dollar row value. Now can we see what is going to be happen? Are we getting the records? See, this method can fetch the first record, printed, second record, printed, third record, loop third time, printed, fourth record, printed. Is there any fifth record? Fifth record value is going to be null. For null, loop will be terminated automatically. Now you can see all 4 records are going to be printed or not. Now you can see all 4 records are printed. We didn't write the statement. So we don't want to write the 4 times or 5 times. It may be while loop also. If it is a while loop also, the same story. Simply you can go with the while loop, while loop condition only. We don't have anything here. Just you can go with the while loop. It will print the data also here. Nothing difference is there. Same story again. So what is the method you want to use? You want to use a row of 0 Now you can see I want to print row of 1. You can see each and every name will be printed on the browser window. Can you see? Ram, 4 users, Ram, Teja, Live, Naresh. 4 users names are printed. You want to print some other thing. Right now you can see row of 2 email ID also going to be printed. Can you see? Ram and his mail ID, Teja and mail ID, something like this printed. But I want to print this into a HTML table. I don't want to print the data like this now. I think I got some clarity by seeing this code. Okay, let me keep this and let me create a new file. So I'm going to create a new file. Let me take a file with the name called, let me save the file with the name list.php, but earlier I did it contact.php, contact list. Now this time I taken list.php. I want to list all the records from a table. I want to list all the records in a HTML table. Understand? So let us see how can we display them into a HTML table, and we can go for it, guys. Now you can see I'm taking, first of all, I want to prepare the basic skeleton. Step 1, guys. Step 1, first HTML. Step 2, designing. Step 3, fetching data from a table and display into the thing, guys. Right? What is a step by step? I just want to go here. I don't want to make anything. First, create HTML. Why? Because we want to display the data into a HTML table. Create HTML table. Second step is going to be design the table if you required. Design the table if you required. Design the table. And fourth one is going to be third one. What is the third one, guys? Here, the third one is going to be fetch the data from table. Fetch the data from table. What HTML can do, and it is a static one. The static data you have to remove. You have to fetch the data from a table by using PHP. Let us see how we can make a static program to dynamic program here. Now HTML open, head tag open, head tag close. First I'm starting with HTML. Every program will start with HTML only. This is the way of learning, guys. Practice step by step. Don't do line by line. So this is title tag open, title tag close, title open, title close. Here contact users list is my title. Let me go with the body tag open, body tag close. Try to see how we are going to fetch the data here. Right, this is going to be the same. H1 tag with you can see contact users list. Okay, same story. Let me run the file up to here. So don't need to execute all the things at a time. List.php is my file name. Executed. Yeah, contact users list. Great. Yes, it's nice. Contact users list is done. Now we want to make a HTML table. Table tag open, table. I didn't write any PHP code. Remember carefully. When required, then I will go for it. First of all, this will become first designing with static data. Right, tr. This tr having some ths. I want to make some headings statically right now. So heading open, heading close. What is the headings we are having? 5 headings in the table: ID, name, and email, mobile, and what is the one more thing we are having there? Message. Right, this is a message, message, message. Right, so execute this also. Now I'm having headings properly. Now let me take one more tr. This tr is going to be have a static record. This is going to be a td open, td close. Try to see one, and I'm taking some record rom. Let me take something called rom@mail.com, some dummy information. All the information is going to be dummy. So let me add some mobile number. Let me have something called welcome or message, welcome to, hello, or something like this. Okay, refresh the page, one static record is there. Like this you are having many records. Right, this is the record 1, record 2, record 3. All are static records only now. So first step is successfully completed. You created a table with HTML. Now the second step is always going to be designing. So if you know design, you can do it. Otherwise leave it. It's not our duty. I'm taking this as a style tag open, style tag close. Just you can go with style tag open, style tag close. If you know any design, you can go with. Okay, you can add it. Otherwise you can go to Google, copy the table css, paste here. If you don't know, if you know, you can design it. So we are not a designers, right? Anybody know designing? Do you know design? The second step is always design, guys, here. Right, let me go to the third step. You want me to go to third step? Okay, let me take some table border. I'm taking some table border equal to 1, border 1. This is the table border. uh, Let us write some small property, table table There is a property, I believe, BORDER, border, COLLAPSE, border collapse. I don't know. I think refresh the page. Yeah, border collapse it fine. Uh, table little I'm writing, guys. I'm not going to make very drastic design, just simple styles I'm just adding because of the second part, right? If you know, you can continue, otherwise you can leave it. Second step is I don't want to ask you to do. If you are interested, continue with the second step, otherwise you can leave it, right? TR and a TD. So I want to make some padding. So padding, top bottom 10 pixels, left right 5 pixels. Okay, let me check this, what is going to be happen. Okay, the same I want to go with the TRTH also. This is fine for me. You want to do any good design for this? Okay, guys, let us leave it. We are not a professional designers here. Don't worry about it. Just I made a small design. If you don't know, I will show you at the end of it how can we copy paste a very good design from the Google. Okay, now right. Just I add the second step also. If you don't know the second step, avoid it and don't hectic yourself by learning CSS. If you don't know, leave it. I'm saying you seriously. So you should know HTML. I already told you. Generally, in every company, there is a designing team. They will do this job, right? Okay, now right. Designing job will be done by the people. Now the third step, whatever the table you are able to see, this table is containing static information. Now I want to make the dynamic information. Just above the table, I want to write the query. Now you can see, first of all, I want to include connection. You want to do any operation, first of all you want to include connect.php. Now that is a file name. So if you can include it, connect.php, database connection is available. Immediately you are going to write something called result equal to mysqli underscore query. This is going to give you dollar connection comma, write the query. We know select star from table name, right? Select star from, what is our table name? Contact. This is the table we are having. Perfect. So first and foremost thing, if you have records, you have to display the table. If you don't have records, display a message, sorry, no records found. So that what I want to write, if you have records, display the table. If you don't have records, write a message by saying that paragraph tag open close, sorry, no records found. I'm writing a message, sorry, just no records found. Simply I written a message like this. If you don't have records, no records found. If you have records, how do we know, how can we check whether you have records or not? Echo mysql I underscore num underscore rows na, num underscore rows. To this we have to pass the result set variable. Earlier I taken data in the last program, now I'm taking result variable. You can take anything there, don't get confused, right? So now what I want to do, whatever the HTML table they created to you, remove this HTML table and keep this into this condition. Exactly. If you want to write HTML inside PHP, anybody? I won't write HTML code directly here. If you can write HTML code directly, it is going to give you error. You cannot write directly. Anybody tell me, in the basics we already learned, how can we write HTML inside PHP? By using echo statement, right? By using echo statement. Now you can see I'm using echo. Now you can write the code, all the things into HTML. Okay, this is valid. Now you can see, if you can refresh the page, you don't have any error. We can do like this by using echo statement. I don't want to go with echo statement, guys. Here right now you can see I can do one more way. So inside this condition, I'm closing PHP, I'm open PHP. Try to see inside of it we can add the HTML as it is again. This is also valid story, guys, but here the properly tag is open here, tag is closed here. In between that I'm taking some HTML, whatever the HTML you have, that HTML I'm taking. So now you can see this is also valid. Refresh the page in the browser. Now you can check this, you don't have any error. So this is the way people will follow in real time. We don't want to write echo. If you can write echo, the code looks not good actually, right? Okay, and one more thing, all these records are static or dynamic? All are static records. Let me remove the static records. Right now you can able to see only one record in the table, that too static only. Now here in this I want to get the dynamic records, right? Dynamic means there is PHP code inside HTML. How can we add PHP? Again you have to open PHP, close PHP, because it's a HTML, right? Inside HTML you won't write For you can write while loop or for loop. While dollar row equal to MySQL I underscore fetch underscore associate, or row. You can take a row. In this you can pass the result variable, and this is exactly the thing we are having. Okay, right. In this I'm keeping the row. Now you can see this is inside PHP. I written the row directly. Will you get executed? Definitely not, right? So it is not going to be executed. Syntax error on line number 36 exactly here. So if you want to do the same again, what you can do inside the while loop, you can close PHP, open PHP. We can do like this, guys, right? You can check this. This is the code you have to keep here. So now you can see all the code was inside the while loop only. Now you can see while loop is properly nested. This is the curly bracket. It was inside the condition. It was inside the PHP. The closing also inside the PHP. Proper was. It is right. Now you can see inside of it. I want to make the ID. Here we have a row variable. Now you can see echo dollar row of 0. Now you can see what is the output you are getting. Oh my god, it is printing row of 0. Echo row of 0 is a PHP statement now. If it is a PHP statement, then what you need to do, inside this TD, how can we add PHP? Again, you can write this statement like this. Don't get confused. Try to understand the code step by step. Row 0, this is going to be row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, and that's all, right? We have 5 columns only, right? 0 to 5, 0 to 4. Right now you can check this. All the data is dynamic. Now can you see all the records are coming, right? This is exactly how we can print the data on a table, HTML table, right? Exactly. So what is the record we are using here? Sorry, what is the method we are using? Fetch row. Okay, I used fetch row method. List with the fetch row. Okay, let me copy the same program. List associate, LIST associate.php. I'm creating a file like this, but this time I'm using the method as same code as it is, guys. Associate. If this is associate, then what you have to use? You have to use the column name, guys. What is the column name? ID. Associate na. This is going to be name, and this is going to be email, something like this you have to use. This is going to be mobile, this is going to be message. Exactly, you guys needs to go like this, guys. Message. Now you can check this list associate.php. Also we can execute this. Now you can see I'm going to execute list underscore asssoc.php. You can see this is an associative array. I told you, I shown you earlier, associate return the data as an associative array. That is a method will do exactly. If you can use array, that can be anything, right? It could be anything. You can pass a 0 or you can pass anything there. That will be works for you. So let me do one thing. Users list method assoc associate. Better to write like this without having any confusion. So same table, guys, check this carefully. This is going to be row method. Copy the same code. I'm pasting here. Save the file with list array.php. I'm creating a file with a name called array, array, array.php. Now, if it is an array method, now what is going to be happen? Array, array is a method. So if it is an array method, it is going to give you the combination of indexed and associative array. Now you can see I can take 0, 1. Here you can take email. You can take index, or you can take anything, guys. This is going to be mobile. You can take some column names. You can take some indexes. Both we can take. Why? Because this method written the combination of both. Now you can check this list underscore array also. Now I'm copying the file. Create a new. Sorry, what is the file we are having here? Now we can check this list array.php now array run the file. You can see the data, same data. Finally copy the same object, list object.php object object.php. Check this carefully. If it is an object, very very important, carefully check this carefully. This is an object here we are having now, right? Object. If it is an object, is an look like something, it will be pointed like this, guys. Hyphen greater than column name. Don't give column name either in single quote or double quote. Simply this is going to be name. Object values are accessed like this. Remember carefully, hyphen greater than symbol. So this is going to be email. Exactly, this is the way of object is little bit different, guys, right? Arrays are okay, but we take a square bracket and we're accessing them. This is not a square bracket. Exactly, this is going to be always be like this, message. Okay, this is very very important. The way of accessing object values, right? Object. Now you can go and execute the same file, control C, control N. Oh sorry, let me do in the same window, right? You can execute the same list object.php object object.php. Oh, I have an error. Why I have an error? message na message, message, right? So just you can go only one s. So can you see the error is going to be undefined property std class of object. Std class is an object of message. Now you can check this, everything is okay. Even though a small mistake in the column name also, we are not getting the data, guys, right? If you want to design this table in a proper manner, okay, let me go html table design. I'm going to take table design. Let me go there. Okay, w3 schools. You can go anywhere. Here I have a table. This is looks good, right? Okay, let me copy the code here from here. Try it yourself. Yeah, this is the table. I'm just copying this table, guys. I don't want to do anything. So here we can keep the design. If you don't know, don't worry. If you are doesn't know, it's not at all a matter. Just you can go with Google and find some css and you can check the same story. You can execute this file. You can, oh sorry, this is the file I have to execute, right? Can you see the table was displayed properly, the data with full width? Exactly. Whatever you want, you can do it, guys. It's not a problem. If you know, you can do your own design. If you don't know, you can leave it, right? Yeah. So this is how we get able to fetch the data from a table. But people may have little bit confusion here. Remember carefully, I'm writing php, open php, again we are writing some html, some php, something we are writing, but that should be step by step. Remember carefully, if you can take this loop or else at least anything you can take it. Now you can see exactly, we know while is php, it should be definitely in the open php, close php. This is html, that's why exactly I closed it here. Sorry, I opened there, I closed it here, exactly. In the middle, we have TR-TD. Every TD is HTML, but inside the TD data is dynamic, na? So again, you have to open PHP, close PHP, write the dynamic value there. This is how the beauty of PHP, guys. That much flexible the PHP programming language is here. Okay, na? Right. Very nice. And let me know, guys, if you have any doubts. So this is a step by step, 3 steps you are requesting, right? And tomorrow, don't miss. Tomorrow, we are going to discuss about a contact form. Yesterday, we inserted the data into a table statically, right? Tomorrow, we can see how we can insert the data programmatically. Okay. Yes, please. Any doubts you have? So, accessing through object. What will be the error if we write HTML code within PHP? Within PHP, if you want to write HTML code, remember carefully, this is very important. You have to close PHP, open PHP. For example, you are writing a for loop. For loop is belongs to PHP, right? Now you can see it belongs to PHP. All right, let me write the file with name called test.php quickly for your understanding purpose. This is the thing. You are writing a for loop. $I equal to 0, $I less than or equal to 10, and $I plus plus, something you written. You want to print this I value. You want to print this I value here, exactly, right? You can see. You want to print every value into UL. I'm taking this UL open. I'm closing the UL at the bottom of it. See, this entire for loop was inside the UL. Na? Inside the UL. UL is a HTML element. UL is a HTML element. Here, every number you are printing, echo $I, right? This is echo $I you are printing. So, and you can have a break tag here. Now, if you can execute the file with the test.php, you can just go and check this. I'm just going to execute the file test.php. Okay, perfect. Now you can see the code of output test.php. You can see the values are coming 0 to 10. But every element should be into an li. So li is a HTML element, na? So in this point of time, can I write li element directly here? So inside of php, now you refresh the page, syntax error you are getting. You cannot do like this. So in this point of time, what you can do, you can close the php, you can open the php, and you can write the li tag directly. This is also valid. Inside of it, you have to write $I, na? Echo $I. If you can write $I, can you see this is the problem? What is why this is coming in HTML? Again, how can you write php? So that's the reason we opened php, we closed php, echo $I. This is what you have to do. Now you can check this 0 1 to 10. Everything is printed now. Same story. If you can understand this, I think that will be easy, right? Wherever you want to write dynamic, there you can open php, close php. If you want to write HTML, close the php, add the HTML, whatever you want. Yes, you can do it. Can you see? I want to add HTML. I closed php. I opened php. Inside I added HTML. Inside of it, I want write again PHP code. Yeah, this is dynamic, nothing but hypertext preprocessor. Exactly the abbreviation of PHP. You can use any one, man. You can use div tag also. You want, you can use div tag. Now you can see what, I don't know what is the tag you want to use. If it is a HTML, yes, simply you can take like this div tag and div tag. Now you can see every element will be displayed into a div element. Now you can see there is no dots because you use a div, right? So that's why you are not going to get anything, right? So exactly, this is how we can make the things. Yeah, still any doubts, let me know, please. But practice this program today. All the programs I will upload to Drive without fail. Try to practice them. Any doubts, let us know. Okay, now very, very important. If you are not practicing, we can't help you, man. So now onwards, our programmings are going to be very big. Now onwards, every program day to day, you have to practice. If you are missing them, I can't help you there. Seriously says. You can use for each loop also, no problem. You can try with for each loop. Okay, I used only for loop or while loop, right? You can use for each loop also. Okay, guys, then fine. So we can see tomorrow and practice the programs. Any doubts, we will see discuss. We will discuss tomorrow, starting of the sessions. After that, we can go for contact form. All right. Thank you. Then have a nice day.